Greetings and welcome to the Lab 5 walkthrough, the last lab of the semester. Apologies if the sound or video is not as good as usual. I'm using a backup system to make this. The important items with Lab 5 are sessions, writing to a database, reading from a database, as well as cookie, writing and reading a cookie. As we go through these pages, notice there are many pages, and I have them listed in the lab assignment. You could do most of this in one file, but we do not want to do that specifically because we want to use sessions to pass data from page to page to page to page to make our web application stateful. So I'm going to go through this, and as I go through, I will note items that need to work versus perhaps extra items, such as the validations and whatnot. And I talk about those in the lab assignment. First off, I wanted to point out that there is the databases here. My Lab 5 database is here, and I do have one entry, and yours will as well too. And I have two extra files here. The SQL file that you need, don't turn that in, but you'll need that for the lab. As well as I just created a hash file. I did post this in e-learning, but remember, the hash that's in the database is actually of this password, and so you can use that password to test if your connection is working. So let's go ahead and go to the login. And this is just my login for my club, the Super Happy Fantastic Fun Club. You can come up with your own. I do have my time and date off to the right. I'm going to go ahead and first log in with the account that is already created so that you can see what happens on a successful login. So it's an email and password, like most web applications, websites out there. So if I get it all correct and I hit log into the club, it does query the database and shows me the information. Notice the password's hidden. That's how we usually do it. It's not secure. We're not on an HTTPS, but we're somewhat emulating this. So let me go back, and so that works. We know that if I get the right email and password, I can show the information. So let's go back. And let me go ahead back to my login page, and this time I'm going to enter an email and password that is not in session. So this is a nice little piece to test it. If you can't really figure out how to do that, you might just simply have a link down here, create new account. My example I'm showing you has a lot of extras in it. So I'm going to go ahead and do an email and do a password and hit login, and it says your login is not valid. Please try again or visit the account creation page. So either my login password didn't match, or I'm going to go ahead and create an account, and that's what I'll do now to take us through the steps. So it first asks for first name and last name. I do have some validation in place. Empty field check validation is probably good to have as we move further in, and some of the regular expressions and whatnot might be more challenging, and that's extra pieces, but it does at least check that there's some information in the field. That's probably something we do want to have. So let me just go ahead, and if I just entered one of them, right, it maintained that, but then that's a little extra piece too, but it says that the last name. Alright, so I submit, and I have an extra step here just so they can confirm it. This is a little extra as well too. If you don't have that, it's not that that's great, but the functionality is still in place. I'm going to go ahead and enter an address. And we'll see if it checks for anything else. Okay, it didn't like my address or anything else that was blank. Oops. I'll go ahead and fill everything out here. Let me see if this works. Oh, nope. See, it kept everything else, but I needed a 5-digit zip code. Alright. And what is a confirmation page again? Once again, this is a little extra step. And then it's going to ask me for my email and password. This is a brand new account, and this is actually our login and pass that's going to be written to the database. Kept it for me. I'm going to enter some passwords that are too short, and it does tell me that. It maintains the email though. That's a little extra step as well. Now I'm going to enter one that meets requirements but that don't match. Okay, and it let me know that as well too. Now I will enter ones that work. and Chromium wants to save. I say no, not yet. And then right now when I hit this confirm to create account, this is actually what I'm going to write to the database. I've collected everything, kept it with sessions, and so on. So I'm going to hit that, and it says, okay, you did it. Right? It's actually there. We return to the login, and look at this. It remembered me, Jethro, and has my actual email filled out as well too. That's great. Let me go ahead and enter the password. I'll enter it wrong first. Okay, hey, the password isn't in the right format. Alright, fine. And there we go. It's entered correct, and it does show my information. So there's the Lab5 walkthrough. We'll ask questions in class, but please watch the video more than once. There's a lot of pieces to this lab, and as I said, at the minimum, you want to have it so that we go through each page, maintain information, write to the database, and even better when we log back in, read it as well too. All the extra pieces of confirmation, everything above checking for empty fields, those are great additions, but it's more important to have all the functional pieces in place before you start checking for different formats and data types and whatnot.